TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us.
The number one advice I would give someone starting to grow a beard. Wash with beard shampoo and conditioner because Borsho's dry out your beard. Use beard oil and beard balm to keep your beard soft, healthy, and moisturized. Use a wood comb to protect from breakage. Protect your beard by sleeping in a beard bonnet or a beard rag at night. This is an easy routine to keep your beard on point. For all your beard grooming needs, get it at thesaltStoreLLC.com.
Thank you for making Saints Central your black and gold home for the New Orleans Saints.
Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that?
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Number one sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies and the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, Who That Nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Okay with where he is from a
If I wasn't, I wouldn't be playing him. I mean, honestly, we're going to have to throw the ball and mix the run, do all of those things. I think he's had a good week.
Is his velocity at least close to what it normally is?
I haven't seen anything yet. I haven't felt like I've seen anything different.
In regard to him, you've talked about him before, but you play quarterback. Is it his selflessness or whatever you want to call it to do all the things he's done in his career? I mean, how rare is that? Because quarterbacks are kind of wired.
Look, it's unique, and I hear this all the time from personnel people or other coaches. We're all looking for a Taysom Hill now. It's unique. Part of that is his athleticism, his size and strength. In the division teams see him, they kind of, see it twice a year, and then some of the non-divisional opponents for the first time. It's hard to really, but he's powerful and in the quarterback position, and obviously when he's not playing that position, there's so many other things he does. And then you throw that with just those endearing qualities as far as a teammate, and whether it's cover a punt, the selflessness that you're talking about is here's the one thing. When I was watching the tape of the preseason in Green Bay, I've said this before, there was a play, it was a third down, he's second half, and play breaks down, he scrambles, they're at midfield, maybe 40-yard line, and he steps up and he runs and he scores a touchdown up in the pocket, like a long run, 35, 40-yard run. But what was really telling is when he got into the end zone, within 2 seconds, the other 10 players were on top, and if you really pay attention sometimes to those things, you can tell how a player is respected, and that was a rookie, and that was just something that was like, whoa, noticeable.
So when you first broached the subject of this hybrid role with him and special teams that he did,
how that happened, we claimed him as a quarterback. He came in as a quarterback. We had like week 4, week 5. There was a game where we had some injuries, and so our inactives prior to COVID was a little bit more defined. It was bump, 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 and so like, look, we had 3 healthy players. It could be when that happens. Usually, you acquiesce to special teams. Is there anyone that can help us here? And I turned to Mike and I said, Taysom help us in the kicking game. And, Mike was like, yeah, I'll take him, and that was the first game where he covered his Fox. I remember telling Aikman about him, and he was covering kicks and everything. And so we kind of evolved to that. We saw speed and we saw, and so part of that first game was the result of the injuries and grabbing a healthy, inactive player that we felt could help in the kicking game.
But did he have hesitation? I mean, he's a
No,
quarterback.
shoot, he's a rookie at that time,
Okay.
right? He's a rookie free agent, and this gets back to his traits. Yeah, I'd love to do that.
Going back a little bit here, what do you remember about the 99 game against the Jets, your first game, calling plays? Is there anything that stands out to you when you think back to that?
Say it again.
99, your first game. I think calling plays was against the Jets,
No,
wasn't it?
it was against the New York Giants. It was Sunday. Parcells was the head coach, and Belichick was the defensive coordinator. And Coach Fossil, the late Coach Fossil, he had lost his father that week. I think that's the game you're referring to. It was at Old Giant Stadium, and that was the first game that I call plays for a regular season game.
Yeah.
And so, obviously, the stadium's different, and but while I was in New York, we played the Jets every year in the preseason, and then there'd be that every like 4th year you wouldn't play them in the preseason because you had them in a regular season game, and then it would rotate whether it was green or blue in the stadium. The old stadium was Giant Stadium, and the Jets played there. Now that was always kind of like, and the new one's different, obviously. That's what I remember about that game.
Hey, Sean, as a
99.
Yeah.
Sean, as a play caller, how much do you miss not having Alvin on this past 4 weeks?
I think this, obviously, I mean, you're talking about one of the better running backs in the league. And so, yeah, I mean, quite a bit. And we've had stretches without Alvin, a couple of years ago, I recall going to Chicago and just as importantly, though, there's a Pro Bowl running back, the 2 Pro Bowl tackles. That's significant. That's significant. And so you feel that relative to either run or pass, and we built this team in some ways through the defense and offensive line. And I just say we value those picks early, and those are hard players to find in the offseason and free agency, and certainly cover corners, and there's a list of, but so when you're looking at those tackles and the interior of the line, and then you're looking at the ends, those are things those are quiet things that's hard for the eye to watch on television and recognize, oh, I didn't even think of that. Where Alvin, obviously, or a corner or middle linebacker or, a receiver, those are a little bit easier to see. And I think those line positions are something that this is the first stretch for us where, man, there's been games with both of them down, and that's a challenge.
That's Coach Payton, man. Give you some insight on how you feel about that offensive line. I told y'all, man. Coach Payton loves his offensive line, man, and he always is going to look to improve that offensive line, man. And the Saints line, losing Teron Armstead, I think this year, I don't think he comes back. They paid Ryan Ramczyk, made him one of the highest paid in the league. And, of course, I foresee them, and I've said this several years ago before this occurred, that ultimately they'll pay him and then move him to the blindside tackle position, which he played coming out of college. And, of course, the Saints will have to retool. Of course, McCoy coming up soon. Ruiz needs to get better. Do he shift to center? But you see Coach Payton
is talking about the importance of having that offensive line. Like we talked about in the previous stream, that if you don't bring it on that offensive line, you're not going to have any success, no matter if you could be draped out with all kind of awesome skill players. If your ass is not protecting offensive line, you will not have much success, baby. So much love to the fam. Appreciate y'all being in the live stream. Big ups to the Great Saint Think Tank. And like I've been saying for some time now, welcome, welcome, welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports family. I'm Big Q. I'm up in this thing. Much love to the fam. Appreciate y'all joining me on this Friday stream. TSC Week 14 Saints versus the Jets preview. And like I said, man, this is going to be intriguing to see. But listen, we're struggling a bit at 5-7, 5 straight losses, but the black and gold have to represent. And I think they will represent and get us back on the right side of things. They have no choice, man. We got to represent the Who Dat Nation to the best of our ability. So who that to you? So big ups to the fam. Appreciate y'all being here. GM Kev, who that to you? Jerry Paul Jr., who that to you? JT, who that to you? Torres Shepard Sr., who that to you? All right. Gabriel Thomas, who that to you? Pammy Whammy, who that to you? Universal Love 878, who that to you? Rockwell, who that to you, baby? Much love to all the queens in the building. Brian Pearson, who that to you? Rush Shower, what's up, fam? Who that to you? Devin C, who that to you as well? Good to see you. And JT says, Q, I think it's time for us to get a wide receiver in the first 3 rounds. We don't have time to build a late round wide receiver. Thank you, brother JT. All right. What's up, Phoebe? Who that T say the Saints resign? I know. We're going to talk about it. I got an article talking about that as well today. We're going to talk about it. All right. And JT adds Brandon Cooks is the only number 1 pick we need. Game breakers, especially with Jameis's arm or Russell's arm. Thank you, JT. All right. Change the coordinator. All right, Mr. Pops 3000, what's up, fam? Who that to you as well? Be Kind is in the building. Big ups to you, Rugaroo. Who that to you as well? Quincy, what's up, fam? Who that to you? Appreciate you. Brother Tramal is in the building. Who that to you? What's up, King Isaac? Who that to you, fam? Appreciate you. And much love to the entire Great Saint Think Tank. If you hadn't hit upon the like button, hit the hell out the like button. Help out the stream. Please feel free to subscribe. And also feel free to share the links to the show on your social media with other Saints family members. We in this thing going down with the preview for tonight. So much love to the fam. Appreciate all y'all being in this thing as we get it going. So like I said, we started to show off with Coach Payton there, talking about different things. Of course, Taysom Hill. The look coming into it is the fact that the Saints are expected to go with Taysom Hill, which is, they said that his finger looks a lot better. We'll see. We shall see, fam. But I think Coach Payton feels like he gives him the best chance to win this game. And we'll see if Coach Payton's right, to be honest with you. But anyway, fam, let's get into it. Let's start off the show. Please hit the like button if you had already hit it. Let's get right into it. Saints Friday injury report 2021 Week 14 versus the Jets. And let's see. And of course, this is uber imperative that the Saints be able to get on the plus side of things and having some of our playmakers back to be able to, at least for the most part, give us some bit of electricity, offensively speaking, because we need to score some points. 3 Saints listed as out versus the Week 14 Jets matchup. And, of course, the injury report is compounded with other things. 8 Saints players listed on Friday's injury report for the team's Week 14 game against the Jets. Ryan Ramczyk is listed as out. Didn't practice all week long with that knee issue. He's out yet again. Werner, also the young, exciting linebacker rookie, is out as well with an elbow issue. Saints not taking any chances. Marcus Davenport was limited all week long with a shoulder issue. Word on the street, he should play. Teron Armstead should play as well, as he was limited. Barring some unforeseen setback, those guys should be good to go. Caden Ellis was limited, then shut down Friday. He is listed as out with hamstrings. Like we said, it's a tricky thing. Elvin Kamara fully practiced, looks on the plus side of the injury. Taysom Hill as well, according to reports, that Taysom Hill should be fine operating the quarterback position. We'll see. And, of course, LaJordan Humphrey, another hamstring issue. He was shut down and listed as questionable. So the Saints wide receiver room is in a bit of turmoil, to be honest with you. Well, LaJordan Humphrey's hamstring issues, Ty Montgomery out with the C-19 as well. You look at Deonte Harris suspended for 3 games. It's the first of 3 games that Deonte Harris will be out. The Saints are suffering right now at the wide receiver position. So we'll see what's going on with that as well. What's up, Vernon? Who that to you, fam? Appreciate you. And Brother Dave as well. Who that to you? Appreciate you being in the stream. But yeah, this is intriguing, man, to see how we overcome that, man. A lot of issues to the wide receiver room right now. The Jets, Sheldon Rankins is listed. He fully practiced Friday, so his game status is questionable. Michael Carter, the defensive back, is out. Running back Tevin Coleman is listed as out with the concussion issue. Questionable is Tardif, the offensive guard. A wide receiver, Elijah Moore, is questionable as well. Tight end Griffin is questionable. CJ Mosley, one of their linebackers, he fully practiced Friday, has a questionable designation. Westcott, the tight end, is out for the game, and Franklin Myers, another defensive end, is questionable. Hamza Sheridan, fully practiced, so he should be good to go. And Zach Wilson fully practiced the entire week despite having issues with his knee. No limitations, as well as he moved, as well as see some of the roster updates. Saints re-signed Kenny Stills and added him to the active roster, so we might see Kenny Stills yet again. So the Saints going back to people that's not effective now. Kenny Stills be like Kenny, but Kenny has been hasn't heard a peep from him in the last several games or anything positive anyway, which led to him being caught. He was targeted 5 times, no catches, had 2 drops in the game, one of which hit him right. Both of them hit him right in his hands. He dropped the ball. One led to an interception. They cut him and they said, well, we got all these injuries. Let's bring him back. So, I mean, and then, of course, we also still have Kevin White back on this team. So why we keep circulating? I mean, I ain't so mad at Kenny Stills, but Kevin White, my goodness. Fly Trey, what's up, fam? Big ups to you. So, I mean, yeah, y'all guess as good as mine as far as that concerned. I don't know what it is, man. Maybe they feel like they can't find anybody to kind of help them right now. But anyway, let's get into that article right here, and that's coming from Saints Wire. And Sigler's talking about Saints bring back Kenny Stills after losing Deonte Harris and Ty Montgomery. Unfortunate, but you know the Saints like to use different people. Of course, Taysom playing the quarterback position. Ty Montgomery uses the guy that plays running back and wide receiver. He is out as well with C19. So is Mark Ingram and Cam Jordan. So let's get into this article. Kenny Stills was spotted at New Orleans practice on Friday after being released on Tuesday, but the wide receiver court took a series of hits in the days since Stills was waived. Harris was suspended for 3 games. Ty Montgomery landed on the C19 reserve list after a positive test, and LaJordan Humphrey was a limited participant in Thursday practice due to a sudden hamstring injury. It is unclear yet whether Stills was signed to a 53-man roster, which is several vacancies, which he did, and we just showed you that he was signed to the active roster. And defensive end Cam Jordan and running back Mark Ingram II also on the C19 list, outright or instead added to the practice squad, which is its full 16-man capacity as of Friday afternoon. But the Saints cut and re-signed players all the time, most recently defensive tackle Malcolm Roach, so it wouldn't be difficult to slot Stills in on the practice squad. So like we said, he was added. The previous article confirmed that he is added to the active roster. So Friday's update to the daily NFL transaction wire is released for the curious. Here are the wide receivers available for Sunday's game for the Jets: Traquan Smith, Marquez Callaway, Aesop Winston. His practice squad, Quan Baker's there, Malcolm Perry, who's listed as a running back, but really you can use him at wide receiver. And you got Kevin White there, and Kenny Stills is on the active roster as well. And of course, you see here it is. Stills was resigned to the active roster, and Humphrey is questionable to play for the Jets. So the Saints will have to reach in that depth chart again and see if they can pull out one of these other guys. Whether we hearing Aesop Winston could be the practice squad candidate to come in because of his return abilities, could help out where Deonte Harris was. So, and of course, I would love to see Quan Baker as well gets his first opportunity on the active roster with so many injuries occurring to the Saints wide receiver room. They are banged up indeed. Even so, to the point that we have to feel like we have to go back to non-producing players. But right now, at this stage of development, right now, the Saints kind of need to. We kind of have a real sense of urgency, and right now we kind of stuck, I guess, based on the philosophy of what the team is doing. We kind of stuck right now with who we got. We need these guys to produce and step up and break the streak. So, I mean, we need to get this over with. So, I mean, just to keep it real with you, we need this streak broken. So these guys are going to have to make passes. They're going to have to catch passes, throw passes, Mr. Taysom, catch passes, everybody in the wide receiver core and tight ends. And we're going to also have to block for Alvin Kamara, who's fully back. We got to open up some running lanes for Alvin Kamara. We got to put him in space. And we need some real juice and electricity from Taysom and Alvin Kamara to beat the Jets and get on the plus side of things. 5-7. The Saints haven't won in over a month. It's been over a month since the Saints won a football game. 5 games. It's about time for us to get this over with and get this win. So I mean, we got to handle business. But yeah, it's not idyllic in any stretch of the imagination. Imagine you see what happened with Kenny Stills last week and the kind of performance that he had, and of course they can't help it now. Obviously, I mean, I would have tried something else, but Kenny Stills is back, and let's see if he can help the team. So also, we'll see, man. So I mean, I was champion to see some of these other guys given an opportunity to get, but we'll see what Coach Payton has up his sleeve. All right, here we go. Malcolm Roach resigned with the Saints practice squad after clearing waivers. So it's good to see Malcolm Roach back in the building. The Saints released him, cut him, released him, cut him, released him. That's kind of been the old Saints 1-2 step with Malcolm Roach this year. But he's back with the Saints after clearing waivers. And one thing is for sure, that it's hard to get rid of a Roach, boy. Once them roaches get in your damn house, boy, you got to fumigate. So it's hard to get rid of a Roach. But Malcolm's back on the team, baby. He's back. The New Orleans Saints resigned defensive the lineman Malcolm Roach. They say defensive back is actually defensive end Malcolm Roach to their practice squad, having previously waived him. It's the third or defensive lineman. It's the third roster move for Roach this week. On Monday, he was designated to return from the IR, then waived on Tuesday, cleared waivers on Wednesday, and was resigned on Thursday. Yeah, it is a busy week. Roach, who's 23, has been an important part of the Saints' defensive tackle rotation in the second season while playing 176 defensive snaps in 6 games prior to Week 10 injury. His workload lightened once David Onyemata returned from an early season suspension, but lack of production from the group prompted the Saints to work out Roach back into the mix. Now, he'll round out about the 16-man practice squad, which also added veteran offensive lineman James Carpenter, Gerald Hawkins recently while reuniting with wide receiver Kevin White. Roach has a shot at being active to play in Week 14 matchup with the Jets, though he's behind David Onyemata, Shai Tuttle, Christian Ringo, and Elvin Huggins, and rookie Hosea Bronson on the depth chart. So, yes, we'll see if they do. They got a lot of people ahead of them, but we'll see how it goes as David Onyemata, according to Coach Payton, might be getting looks with Cam being on the C-19 list. Whether he returns, we'll see. If he can return by tomorrow, maybe that happens. But if not, David Onyemata could be a guy you see playing a defensive end position. And perhaps you see Pete Werner out, you'll see some Zach Bourne sightings on defense. Perhaps Dennis Allen has the defensive imagination to start moving and maneuvering and using Zach Bourne at the pass rush position as a backup. Outside of that, just to give them a little more oomph to the play. We need some more playmaking done there. So, Roach, it's hard to kill them damn roaches, but they back in the building, and Malcolm Roach is back. It's good to see that guy. I like Malcolm Roach, man. He's getting better all the time. All right, so let's keep it going, fam. And then, of course, we covered the Saints injury report, went over Kenny Stills returning to the team as well. We also looked at Malcolm Roach. And also, before we get into the breakdown, let's get the news story from NOLA.com. A civil rights lawyer, Ben Crump, when Crump gets involved, he gets the money. That's one thing he does. He gets involved. He gets the money for the families. Takes case of Glenn Foster, ex-Saint who died in Alabama's cops' custody for family members who's following this story. Been following as well as former Saints defensive lineman Glenn Foster died in prison. The family of former Saints defensive end Glenn Foster Jr., who died in custody of Alabama authorities this week, has retained a civil rights attorney whose clients include the relatives of George Floyd. In a statement released Friday, attorney Ben Crump said he would not allow police to portray Foster as a physically imposing man to justify the former NFL pro's death under their watch. Quote, a broken-hearted family is the man to answer, Crump's statement said. And of course, Foster, 31, received a bipolar diagnosis in 2010. Crump said that his family fears he was suffering a manic episode when police in Reforma, Alabama, spotted him driving at speeds of 90 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone. The night of December the 3rd, officers chased him into the neighboring town before using a strike strip to flatten Foster's tires as his car crossed over. Foster crashed and officers handcuffed him before booking him into the Pickens County Sheriff's Office's jail with reckless endangerment, resisting arrest, and attempting to elude police. After learning of his arrest, Crump said Foster's family notified Reform Police Chief Black of his history of mental illness. Black worked with Foster's parents to bail their son out and send him to a hospital in Birmingham for evaluation on Sunday. However, before they could, Foster was booked on allegations of trying to steal a fellow inmate's socks and beating him, delaying his release, and a hospital trip. Foster remained jailed until Monday when deputies put him in a patrol cruiser and tried to take him to a hospital in Northport, which is closer to the jail than Birmingham. He was pronounced dead upon his arrival to the hospital. Authorities haven't released either a cause or a manner of death for Foster. In a separate statement of Crump's co-counsel, DeAndre DeBrosi Zimmerman, said that law enforcement had a responsibility to keep Foster Jr. safe when they took him into custody, as they had control over his body, but they denied him both his liberty and safety. Besides relatives of Floyd, who was murdered on Memorial Day of 2020 at the age of 46 by a Minneapolis police officer, Crump's past clients have included the families of Trayvon Martin, Breonna Taylor, and among others. Martin, 17, was unarmed when he was shot to death by a neighborhood watch captain in 2012. Taylor, 26, was shot dead last year by police during a raid in Louisville, Kentucky. Crump helped the families of Floyd, Martin, Taylor secure settlements totaling in tens of millions of dollars. When Crump is there, Crump pick you up. He's gonna get the money for the family members and bring a lot of attention to the case. So it's still a lot to be talked about in this case, man. And as they according to them, are still investigating the case. And of course, they said he had a fight with the sheriff's deputies as well. So had a fight with the inmate ultimately before the COs got him, and then it all went all haywire, all kind of way. All right, sorry about that, fam. But yes, this is something that we're going to get to the bottom of too, family. So we'll see exactly what's going on. I was looking at this one too, and yeah, Demarius Thomas also was found dead in his home at the age of 33 years old. There's something always about that when you hear these strange numbers and times of death. I mean, I remember reading years ago. It's just some other stuff. That's on Q with Big Q type topic that I would get into. It's just numbers, it's number literate or symbol literate society. Well, a lot of people are not that far into it, but the people on top use numbers and symbols of whatnot. And some of my people who are symbol literate and number literate know what I'm talking about. So it's always intriguing when I see numbers like a 33 or some other numbers. Always tell a story or a tale of some sort. You can link stories together, but it's a whole nother thing. But anyway, but like I was saying, yeah, much blessings and rest in power to that brother, Glenn Foster. He was a really good defensive lineman for the Saints. He was dealing with injuries, but I always liked Glenn Foster, man. I think he left and went to Detroit for a little bit, stuff like that. But man, that's so, why was he speeding for 90, going 90 in the 45 zone? What was he running from? So many questions I got asked. What was going on? He could have said he was dealing with manic episodes. So a lot of that's happening in the country, dealing with mental illnesses and stuff like that. So very sad story, man, to hear that kind of thing happen. And of course, with the Demarius Thomas thing, I don't know the particulars of that as well. So maybe that'd be something to cover on the TSC Unleashed coming up Saturday morning as we're bringing that back out. So much love. Okay, so with that being said, fam, let's get into the portion of the show when we start getting into the breakdown of what needs to happen for the Saints to come away with the win against the New York Jets. Let's get into the preview stream right here, as you can see. As they say, the struggling Saints look to get right versus skidding Jets. And the Jets, of course, is on their own little losing streak right now. And the Saints have to take care of business against this team. It's never a situation where you run into a team and you're thinking to yourself, hey, man, we can beat this team. We could do it. In not disrespecting that team. You see what I'm saying? Not disrespecting the Jets, because listen, at any given Sunday, anything could happen. The Jets can come in there and look like the freaking 49ers of old if you don't show up and represent. Can Robert Seller, who's a really emotional coach, really good coach, is he able to use the fact that they gave the Saints what is a 5.5 point spread on them? 5.5 points. So I mean, we'll see how it all shakes and goes, but the Saints got to go in there and take care of business. Seth says, Q, from what I understand, Thomas suffered a seizure in the shower. Yeah, been suffering from that since a car accident in 2019. Oh, that's so sad, man. I'm sorry to hear that. But rest in power to Demarius Thomas, man. So yeah, sorry to hear that, man. All right, a seizure, man. Wow. Yeah, man. I tell you today, man, boy. Anyway, let's get back into the story. Yeah, rest in power to both those brothers, man. Sorry, always you hear stuff like that. Always so sad. All right, so let's look at some of the statistics. Zach Wilson, who's the Jets' young quarterback, is 141 of 243, 1539 on the yards, his passing yards, 6 touchdowns, 11 interceptions on the year. Not a very good year for young Zach Wilson, but the future is bright for this kid. And of course, we see our top runner, despite the fact that Alvin Kamara missed several weeks of play, still the team's top rusher because we hadn't been able to run 146 yards. 146 carries, 530 yards with 3 rushing touchdowns. They top rushing back for the Jets is Michael Carter, who's 111 carries for 430. He has 4 rushing touchdowns of his own. And Deonte Harris, who's been suspended for 3 games starting with this Jets matchup, leads the team in catches with 31, 523 yards and 3 touchdowns. And Elijah Moore, who might not play in the game, former Ole Miss wide receiver Elijah Moore has 43 catches for 538 yards with 5 touchdowns as well. And of course, you look at the injury list. We covered a lot of this on both sides of the fence to see guys. Tevin Coleman, the former Atlanta Falcon guy, is not going to be there as well. And Moore is questionable for the matchup as well. We'll see how it all goes. And of course, the game time is supposed to be, you can see the AccuWeather game time weather for people that's asking about the weather. As you can see, potentially the Saints, the matchup in East Rutherford at game time will be 49 degrees, kind of chilly there. As you can see the line at 5.5 and capacity. I don't know if how many people are being there, but the Jets are not a very good team. So the 49 degrees, according to the East Rutherford AccuWeather forecast. And of course, you go down into the points per game, you see that the Jets, man, 18.1 points per game. The Saints had 23 points per game, as the Jets, offensively are one of the worst teams in the NFL in terms of their scoring. Actually, they're ranked 26, to be honest with you, in terms of in the NFL. NFL ranked in terms of their offense. You look at what they do on the defensive side of the ball, 30.6 is also 32. That's dead last in the NFL. And talking about opposing scoring average, 32 in the NFL. And that's not the only thing they're at with allowing people to score more points on them than any other team in the NFL. They also are one of the worst ranked defenses, total defense NFL ranked at 396.8, almost 397 yards per game that the defense is allowing. That is 32nd ranked in the NFL in terms of their defense as well. So just looking at some of the numbers to see how bad this team is. But like I said, never take them lightly. Saints averaging 23 points a game. And of course, look at that points allowed per game average. It used to be 18, 19. Now it's up in the 23s with this 5-game losing streak really spiked some of these numbers. And the Saints allowing 23 points per game, which would explain when you give up more than what you score, you're going to definitely be on the wrong side of that win-loss total. Now, total yards, 329.1 for the New Orleans Saints. They're throwing 214.4 through the air on offense and rush about 115 yards per contest for the black and gold offense. Now, the Saints 317.3 is good for 23rd in the NFL. And the rushing rank for the Saints is, let's see what it total offense I'm saying for the Saints is ranked 23rd. Rushing offense for the Saints is ranked in 14. And of course, offense, NFL passing offense at what you see it is ranked at 25th in the NFL. You look at the other side of things for the Jets, who are allowing 348 yards, throwing that 348 through the air altogether. Total yards, and then 264 through the air for the offense, and 85 yards per game is the offense of the Jets trying to run at you, and that's 30th. They're 2 from the bottom in the NFL in terms of running the football. Going to the defensive side of the ball, 360.5 for the Saints allowed. And then, of course, you look at 264.1 by the black and gold allowing through the air, and 96.4 is what they do on the ground. Now, total defensive numbers, Saints are ranked 14 with that 34.5, 346.5 yards. That's good for the middle of the pack in the NFL. Saints have a top 5 rush stuffing defense, ranked 5 right now at 96.4. And the passing game right now in the secondary, giving up just over 250 yards per contest, is 22 in the NFL, baby. All right, going on the other side, 414 yards allowed by the Jets per contest. That's not very good for the Jets as well. Like I said, they're one of the worst units in the NFL. 280.6 they allowed through the air, and you can gorge them at 133 yards per game. That's good for 30th in the NFL. And of course, the passing is 29th. So, wow, The Jets defensively are really not that good. You can see over the last 5 contests, they are 4. They're 1-4 in the last 5 games. In the last 5 games, they're 1-4 wins over Houston. Saints, they're not any better. They are worse, actually, in the last 5 games, starting with the Jets. The Falcons, 27-25. Tennessee, 23-21. Philly, 40-29. Buffalo, the blowout, 31-6 on Thanksgiving. Boy, what a foolishness that was. And, of course, Dallas, a week later, 27-17. 5-game losing streak. It's time for it to end. It's time to get this shit over with. Excuse my Portuguese. And of course, they don't mention the kick returning statistics for the black and gold in this thing, but kick return average for the Saints is 23 points per game. That's good for 15. The Jets at 26.6 at third. Punt return for the Saints, 10.6, which is good for 6th in the NFL. 13.6 by the Jets is good for 2nd. Turnover margin, +1. The Saints +1, tied for 12th in the NFL. -16 is the Jets. That's dead last in the NFL. Penalties. Saints have 72 penalties on the year versus 82 by the Jets. They get more penalized as well. And then the penalty yardage for the Saints is 593 total penalty yards versus 661 for the Jets. Now, what does this all mean, Q? It pretty much means that the Jets are pretty bad, man. If you look at statistically, the Jets are pretty pathetic. But sometimes you got to look past the stats. You know what my understanding is, family, is that the way I see it is that sometimes you can look at the statistics and they tell the story very clearly, and sometimes they do not. And sometimes teams, when you look at the statistics and say we should steamroll this team, statistics telling you should be able to handle business against the Jets against their football team. But the reality is they're going to be motivated to get a win against the black and gold and keep climbing. And of course, the Saints really they can't have any more flip ups and all this kind of stuff. The thing the Saints need to do heavy-handedly right now, family, is to make sure they don't keep the turnovers down and don't beat themselves. That's what it comes to. They cannot beat themselves in this matchup. So anyway, let's take a look at the depth chart, family, as we go over it. The depth chart of the Jets roster. Give me just a second here. Let me see if I can shrink that so you can see it a little bit better. But this is the depth chart for the Jets roster there. All right, that looks a little better. All right, and if you take a look at it, Zach Wilson, of course, sits on top of that thing. Tevin Coleman, the former Atlanta Falcon and San Francisco 49er guy, he was there. He's listed as out, so they back up running backs to Ty Johnson and Austin Walter. Even LaMichael Panine is there. Elijah Moore is a questionable decision, but Denzel Mims has been a guy that really helped them out, as well as, remember, Jamison Crowder is another guy that you got to watch out for. Braxton Berrios is another one. These are sneaky wide receivers that'll help keep the chains moving. And remember Keelan Cole, that's a former, I think he was a former Jaguar player that they brought in to kind of help out the wide receiver course. So they got some sneaky wide receivers there with speed, and Jamison Crowder probably, in my opinion, is the best of the bunch. He's one of them. He's one of those guys that have some speed. He can find holes and make catches for them. So we have to watch out for guys like that. And of course, Ryan Griffin, the former Tampa Bay Buccaneer, guys listed as questionable. Whether he plays, we know his backup Westco is out, and Kenny Yeboah might get an opportunity to play in the matchup. So we'll see how it all goes. They're banged up. Their line is not all of that either, with Fant and Tucker, McGovern. Tardif is questionable for this game. I think he plays with Morgan Moses. So they don't have the best line in the business, which explains why their offense is so poorish and they only producing 18.1 points per contest. And the reality, if you take a look at what the Saints have on defense versus with the Jets, the Saints should be able to get pressure on the Jets. And we say this, and I know I say this every week. Now, Cam Jordan's not there. But a lot of people saying, well, Q, it's like Cam ain't doing shit when he's there. That's not fair. That's not fair because Cam is doubled a lot, and he does create opportunities for other players. So when you double in Cam and then chipping them, that allows other players to have single matchups where they're supposed to win the single matchup. A guy like Davenport's supposed to play in this contest, and let's see if he do. Hopefully Cam he'll be ready to go, and he'll pass his test before the game. We'll see. I don't know. But if he does, that'll be it. If not, that'll break his streak of 170-something games. Cam has never missed a football game. Since he was drafted on this team, he's played every football game that every whistle, he never missed one. This could be the first if he don't come in and C19 he'll have a big challenge to jump over that to see. So if he can't go, and currently right now he's still on the C-19 list unless things change tomorrow or right before the game, then you would be counting on Davenport, Granderson. You'd be counting on guys like that to have an impact because Tanu Passanio is not there either. He's on the IR for another couple of weeks. So you're going to need Davenport to step up. You're going to need a Granderson to step up. And those guys, you're going to need Quan. You're going to need, when I say Quan Alexander, but yeah, you're going to have to send him in there to knock the guy around too. So the Saints should be able to, and I said should be able to get pressure on the Jets' poorish offensive line. Now, we said that about what was the other team that had a poorish offensive line, but they came to play that game. So we can never take them too lightly. But Dennis Allen has to deal up a very aggressive game to set the tone defensively with this game to keep Zach Wilson head on a swivel. You know, we got to be able to just fluster this young quarterback, get to him and knock him all the way around. They top back Coleman is out, so we be dealing with backup running backs here. But the Saints have to get pressure on Zach Wilson. It all goes with Zach Wilson. You knock him around, you beat him up, you fluster him, and I think you'll have good success. Like I said, this Jets they're not a really great team. They got some intriguing young players on this team, but those guys have not arrived yet. They have not arrived yet. And a lot of people taking advantage of the New York Jets. The Saints need to take the New York Jets and say, this is a medicine game, and we need to get right. We need to get our confidence back by beating this young team in their building and come and handling business and setting the tone moving forward. We got to get – and see, another thing is psychological. A lot of it is psychological, family. The Saints have lost 5 straight contests. That's over a month worth of losing football. So they haven't tasted a win in a very long time. So what does it mean? It means that the Saints get a win. It could entice the Saints overall to say, man, that water there, man. It's like somebody dropped your ass right in the middle of the Sahara Desert. Then you don't know where you are. You don't have no water, no supplies. So you walking for hours on hours and hours on hours, and you finally get to some water somewhere in the ground, like a pond somewhere, and you go run up in there and start getting some of that water. That's how we are with these losses. The Saints haven't tasted the sweet nectar of honey of a win in a while. So they have to get back on that thing. We got to feel what it feels like to win again. And I think that should help to a degree. Now, can they then take that and then listen, we got it and move forward? We'll see. But we've been some dire straits. But listen, the Saints got to take care of business against this team, no doubt about it. Let's get back into it. And of course, you look at the defense. I was giving you the NFL rank on some of these guys. Myers is questionable. Sheldon Rankins is questionable. We know Quinton Williams is a beast. We know Shaq Lawson can play when his mind is right. But, you know, like I said, this defense is not very good. They're struggling. CJ Mosley is questionable. Some of their better players are hurt and banged up. And then the secondary wise, they could be gashed. So what is this? And like LaMarcus Joyner's there. He's out. Carter's out. You know, and there are a few other players that are pretty decent players. But like I said, the Jets have a very interesting young team, but they're not ready yet. So what does it mean? The Saints have to use this team as medicine and get better. So keys to victory for the Saints, to make a long story short, is the Saints have to run the football against this Jet team. You know, they're going to have to run against them. And, of course, statistically speaking, like we talked about the total defense rank, they're dead last in the NFL in total defensive rank, giving up almost 397 yards per game. They allow you to run at 33.4 yards per contest. That's 30 ranked of 32 teams, and you can pass on them. They're 29th ranked secondary. So statistically speaking, you could do it. They have a lot of young players, and they're just not playing well as a team, but neither are the Saints. But something's got to give sooner or later. You got one of the worst teams in the NFL, and the Saints sit up here at 5-7 with a major sense of urgency. I mean, if you was on a submarine and the Saints on say, you would consider or take an analogy of the Saints ship and make it a submarine, or not even that. Just have it as a boat on the water somewhere. And then you got whole people firing, and then they've been through a war. You know, they done had the last 5 wars in this. They got holes in the right and the left side of the boat. And, you know what I'm saying? And they got guys at the bottom trying to patch the boat together because, you know, they're trying to pump out the water and keep going. You know, you got the sails. And then, of course, we going back in the day. They got sails and shit. So You got the sails. The sails had a hole ripped through it. Somebody fired a cannonball through the sails, so it was ripped. So somebody went up there and sewed up the sails, and you could see that the ship is battered and bruised like a dog. It's battered and bruised like a dog. But the Saints still up in that sucker. Sean Payton sit up at the top of there telling people what to do, and they all just patching the holes, and they're just trying to make it to friendly waters again, trying to make it to the friendly waters of a win. So can we do that against this Jets team who are banged up, who are not a very good football team right now, who can't stop you from doing pretty much anything unless they play out of their minds. So we're gonna see how it goes. The Saints have this number one start off aggressively blitzing this team. Dennis Allen has to start off and hit this young rookie quarterback in his mouth, and like so many others, and fluster the piss out of him, and also taking them out of the game plan, neutralizing them. Then, of course, offensively speaking, we get Elvin back. The Saints will have to rediscover the running game again, which is something we have not consistently done. Even when the matchup against the Dallas Cowboys, the Saints started to run the ball with Taysom, but did not have the discipline to stick to the run, which ultimately led to our downfall, because when we was bashing them, they were tied hands on their hips and everything. They couldn't stop it. The next thing you know, we go to 2 back-to-back passes, ruin the drive. No, we have to stick with what works, stick with what works. So, I mean, the bottom line, we have to rediscover the rushing attack, bottom line. We have to. And like I said, yeah, Tim says the Titanic. The Titanic. You see riding up on top of that thing. Man, I don't want to say the Titanic because, that wasn't no good story. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like it nudged up against the iceberg and then had a little gash there. And then the people got there and they started welding it up and fixed it. And then they happily got on back to the harbor. They got to the other side. But no, the Titanic sank. The Titanic sank in the deepest part of the ocean, that's a lot of weird stories behind the Titanic too. How a lot of people, I remember watching a documentary a while ago to say that they sunk the Titanic for insurance purposes because the design in the ship was flawed, and and it wasn't indestructible. It was a real interesting documentary. It was done by some British folks who was breaking it down and showing the architectural and all that and all kind of stuff. It was real entertaining. But anyway, that's the keys to victory. About what the Saints need to do. We need to reestablish the running attack. Most definitely. It always starts with that. We have to establish the running attack and then play action to run. Taysom Hill can't turn the football over. We can't go into their building and have massive amounts of turnovers. We can't have these interceptions, 4 turnover games. We can't have massive amounts of penalties if we can help it. We got to play crisp as we can. Guys got to know what they're doing, what Coach Payton calls these screens. Guys got to get out in front of the screens and execute properly and don't sit up there and be blowing blocks, missing plays, and all this kind of stuff. We had to be as crisp as we possibly can because we don't have very much room for error. The Saints lose to the Jets, the season over with. We won't even be mathematically eliminated. But spiritually and psychologically, man, if you can't beat the Jets, you can't beat any damn body. Mail it in, season over with. And then after that, family members, Jim Cub said, Q, I know you ain't talking about the draft right now. I ain't talking. I give a rat's ass about the draft right now. But let us lose to the Jets. You're going to hear all kind of draft shit coming out. You're going to let us lose to the Jets. You're going to hear all kind of, I'm going to drown y'all in draft shit. I'm trying to tell you. I tried to tell you. Let me tell you something. Let the Saints lose to the Jets, and I'm not saying that they are. I think they should and would and could and are going to beat the Jets. But you mean it? But let the Saints come their ass out of New York with a loss to the Jets. You're gonna see all kind of draft shits from me. I ain't playing with you. All right, big ups to the fam, man. Appreciate y'all being here. But that's my call on the game. I'm not gonna pick a score in the game. I'm not going to do that. I'm tired of picking scores and shit, telling people shit, and then the Saints go up in there, they don't score no touchdowns, they don't handle business. They let opportunities go. I mean, every last one of these games, we had an opportunity to take care of business. One thing is a cardinal sin that you can't do in professional sport is you can't beat yourself. You can't do that. You can't go in there and commit turnovers. You can't have low IQ football, which ties to not meaning that they're stupid, but meaning the lapses in focus or concentration, low IQ football, not paying attention, not executing the game plan, not respecting the scouting report, not doing what you need to do to win the game, or severely undervaluing the potential of your opponent. You can't do that. You can't do that if you know what I'm saying. You done all the errors that you could have had, you done blew it all. Any mistakes that you could have had in the season from this point forward, it is now a game by game approach for every game moving forward. There's no spanning into the future saying how many games they win over the next games. I'm not going to do it. My approach simply is to look at every game, one game at a time, because I myself, like you guys, have questions about the mentality of this team. What kind of team do we have where you've dug yourself a hole this late in the season? You're dead last in the NFC South. You're outside of the playoff picture. I give a rat's ass about the playoffs right now. Let's just focus on one game at a time, and they'll take care of themselves. And I'm pretty sure that's what Coach Payton is telling his squad. One game at a time. 504 Coach says, I think we get 2 picks this game and 1 fumble. Payton will have a better package for Taysom, no more than 20, 25 passes, and we run the ball this game, family. Yeah, well, listen, Saints, that's what I'm saying. Saints should be fine to get Alvin Kamara back. He's healthy. Taysom Hill is healthy as well, according to what Coach Payton was saying. So you have 2 of your most electric players that are back in the game, and Jets can't stop Alvin Kamara. Well, you hope they can. The Saints can block for him, create space for him, block for him, and Teron Armstead, who's supposed to play in the game, knows when the snap is so he can get up off his ass and start blocking. And don't just sit there like, you snapped the ball already? And then 4 guys tackling Tony Jones Jr. behind the line of scrimmage, 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Don't do that no more. Yeah, and Eric says, yeah, can't kick an extra point. Let's hope we don't even let the special teams have an opportunity in terms of the kicker to get on out there and do that. Let's just get an extra point. You know what I'm saying? It's a wreck and a half, man, to be honest with you. So many damn things we got to watch out for. So many. But anyway, that's my call on it. What's up, Teflon Don? Big ups to you. I'm not calling any scores, Paula. He says I'm picking the Saints to win 27-17. Now, Paula usually for the last several weeks have been picking against the Saints, and he's been right as rainwater. A lot of people was upset about it, but he was calling it. I know, DLP, me and you on the same accord, bro. The Saints offensive line is something we have to watch out for. The Saints O-line has to bring it. They have to bring it, regardless of who's in there. We know Teron is there. Eric McCoy will be there. Ruiz will be there. Of course, you have Big Kelvin Throckmorton and Hurst there because Ramczyk can't go. But these guys have played together enough so that they know what some of the tendencies of the others. And if you don't, you need to be communicating and letting guys know. Like, it should be no situation where Teron Armstead don't know the ball is snapped and he's still in his stance when guys already snapped the ball. I mean, that shouldn't happen. That's not, and even if you make one mistake and that happens, it shouldn't have. It was several times in that last game, you know. And then they got these assholes running around here talking about Teron Armstead's leading the NFC and Pro Bowl. Hey, are you guys watching this team? What Pro Bowl? The Toilet Bowl? I mean, it's the Pro Bowl for the Toilet Bowl. Yeah, but no, absolutely not. That's why they shouldn't allow people that's out of their mind, they drinking too much fluoride, for them to be picking who these people going up into these up and talking about in the Pro Bowl. They need to just abolish the Pro Bowl and just make it an award show. Just send them their award in the mail or some shit. But no, absolutely not. Teron is my favorite Saints player. He's one of my favorites. Top 3. It's Cam, Teron, and several others. But to keep it real deal, Holyfield, man, I've seen Teron Armstead play some great football. This year he does not deserve it. Listen, and I'll be the first one to say the Saints need this, that, and the third. No, Teron, keep it real deal, Holyfield. Get that to somebody else, because Teron Armstead has not played well enough to be leading the NFC tackles in Pro Bowl votings. Are you kidding me? I mean, you picked some of the most least IQ football people to ask them that question to. I mean, we must have went over there somewhere and said, hey, you like fluoride in your water? Yeah, I like it. What you think about Teron Armstead? Oh, put him ahead. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm telling you, he don't deserve it, man. Real deal. But anyway, let's get into it. That's my call on the Jets game, fam. I'm going to get ready to open up the lines of communication for the family members so y'all can chime in. We're going to go one at a time. I'm going to try to get the family members in so you can join the stream. We'll be doing it up until about 8:30 before I cut it off. Not 30, but 30. We're going to be doing it like that. And then we'll cut it off. I'm going to get the family members in here so they can get their word in edgewise. So give me a second. We'll set that up and get the family members up in this thing. So give me a second. So much love to the fam. All right, give me a second, fam. All right, here we go. Yeah, but that's the thing I'm talking about, fam. So feel free to hit upon the link. Hit the link. What's up, True Hurts? Big ups to you, fam. Appreciate you being on the live stream, fam. Appreciate you. All right, and the rest of the family members, if you hadn't hit the like button, family, please feel free to hit upon the like button and join the stream. Much love to the fam. Big ups to you. So, like I said, we'll be going one at a time. We'll bring family members one at a time, and be mindful when you come in that we got other people that'll be kind of wait for the opportunity to get on. So, if you won't pop in, please feel free to hit upon the link, and you'll be able to get in here and we'll be able to talk about some Saints football. But like I said, fam, this is a game the Saints should win this contest, man. If they don't win this here, man, I don't know what to tell you here, fam. I'm just going to be honest with you, man. I'm just going to be saying I don't know what to tell you. We done lost every and all sense of what it takes to win if you can't beat the New York Jets. Bottom line, I mean, I'm going to just keep it real deal, Holyfield. Anyway, we got PM and Brother Jerry Poor Jr. chiming in. And like I said, family, if you want to join the stream, please hit the link. It's pinned to the top of the chat. If you hadn't hit the like button, hit the like button. If you hadn't shared the show link on social media, feel free to do that. And also, if you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. All of that is free and then some. So we'll bring in PM first. PM, welcome to the stream, bro.
Good day. I'm getting that. I wanted to ask you a question. Do you think we should run the ball a lot with Taysom Hill, Alvin Kamara, and Ingram?
Okay, I'm here having problems hearing you saying, should we run the ball with Alvin Kamara
and Taysom Hill? Yeah, Ingram and Taysom Hill.
Well, Ingram he's on the C19 list. We don't know as it stands right now. PM is that Mark Ingram's not eligible for this game, and maybe that changes Saturday or right before game time. We'll see. But right now, Mark's not eligible. But absolutely, you got to run the ball with Alvin Kamara, and I think Coach Payton will throw Taysom Hill in there as a runner too. He's just too impactful not to use him as a runner. So I would say yes to that.
And do you think we're actually going to win this game?
I think we will win this game, my friend. I think we will beat the New York Jets. I don't want to put a point on that because I've done that over the last several weeks, and I'm brought guests on the show, and then they and then I got to go over there and talk to them, and then you know how it is when you lose a game, then you got to fess up to it, and you got to take your medicine, you got to eat crow, whatever the case may be. But I do think the Saints beat the Jets in this matchup and break the losing streak. I really do think that.
Well, I do think we can win. It's just a matter of if the offense is going to cut down the mistakes, and is the O-line going to play good?
Good point.
Yeah. The defense has shown that they play good all season. Even if they allow 30 points, they're still getting picks in those games.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
Like against Dallas, that was a very talented offense. I mean, they're tied into Dak Prescott. They held him to, what was it, like 2 touchdowns and a pick?
That's right. Yeah, they did. Saints defense was doing what they were supposed to. They gave the offense what? On the back end of the game, they did everything that you will want your defense to do. They took the ball away from the Cowboys, gave it to the Saints offense, and said, here you go. Go see if you can get another point. Then they turned around, forced Dallas off the field again, gave the ball back to the offense, says, here you go again. Go get another score. And they did that in the fourth quarter. The offense just could not put up enough points. They couldn't score enough to make it a game to win the game. And ultimately, when the defense, it's a certain limit to it. You can't do it all the time because, of course, you got the time and sometimes they get tired. But when the defense is playing well and they're taking the ball away from the opposing offense, is giving it to our offense, and if we score, it gives us an opportunity and the momentum of the game to win. But when it's the opposite effect, it can happen. And sooner or later, it becomes something like the defense gets tired of taking the ball away, so to speak, and then the offense not doing it. Then the overall team mindset started to sink a bit when you start seeing that reality that we can't do anything. The offense is they just can't do anything. So every other part of the team kind of folds in a little bit, and we've seen that happen throughout the season. It's not a pretty sight, but unfortunately, We've seen that.
Yeah, so I do think we should, even in the passing game, I think we should give the ball. So is Juwan Johnson going to be in the game?
One more time, PM. What
Is
player?
Juwan Johnson going to be active for the game?
Yes, Juwan Johnson should be in the game. Yes, he should be.
So I do think that we should get Adam. Nick Vanny. Nick Vanny, and then
Vanette.
yeah, Nick Vanny.
Yeah.
And Juwan Johnson the ball a lot more because they were the only two guys who were really contributing. And is Deonte Harris suspended?
Yes, 3 games starting this game.
So he's suspended, and I do think we should give the ball to them in the passing game, and then once to get to our running backs. So that's all I have to really say about the Saints game.
Well, PM, I appreciate you chiming in and talking, man. You are I'm happy to talk to a young who that man with his very smart, intelligent young man. And I appreciate you sharing your intellect and your information and your thoughts on the show, my friend. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, buddy.
Okay, I'm still going to stay on stream, but I'll just get off the screen.
All right, thank you, man. Have a good one. I got to watch what I say now. I can't be getting all raw and stuff now. The cheering is watching. That wasn't my son, Tramal. That's not my son. But man, it's always terrific to talk to the young folks, man. You know, it really is, man. I forget we got a young contingent that listen to the show, man. You know, and I just thank you. You better watch it, man. Okay, I got you, fam. I got it. All right, so thank you, PM, man. That was fun talking to the youngsters, man. Much love to the young Who-Dats. I salute all the young Who-Dats out there, man. Thank y'all for being here, man. All right. Okay, Purple Marcus. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay, PM. There you go. Purple Marcus. Thank you, buddy. All right, good. Very smart, man. Very smart. All right, we got Brother Jerry chiming in here next. That's the OG coming up. If you want to get on the stream, fam, hit that link that's pinned at the top of the chat, fam. You can be able to get in here and tell me what you think about what happens in this Jet game. Give me your score. Tell me what you think needs to happen and how the Saints. Give me your game plan. Tell me who you feel that we need to be looking out for in this matchup against the Jets. Who need to do what? Y'all call in, let me know. All right, so here we go. Yeah, I know Jamal. All right, Brother Jerry, welcome to the stream, bro. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, Big Q? How you doing tonight, bro? Who that to you?
Who that to you, Brother Jerry, the OG in the building. Much love, bro.
Same to you, sir. I salute to you, sir. And once again, shout out to the last caller on Purple Marcus, man, because that's a young Saints mind. I named him that on Hooded Jube's channel because that's a bright young brother right there. I mean, I like his spirit. Talking Saints football, man. That's a shouts out to the young Saints fans out there, man. They keep it real.
Much love,
man.
Right,
Big
man.
ups
I'm
to
very
him, man.
proud of him, bro. Very proud of him. Now, my son he talks Saints just like Purple Marcus. My youngest son does. My other son is more into drawing and stuff like that. But my youngest son loves sports and stuff like that. He does sound like Purple Marcus when he talk about the Saints and the Pelicans and stuff like that. So I guess the apple don't fall too far from the tree as far as that concerned. But Brother Jerry, welcome to the stream, bro. What's your thoughts on the upcoming matchup with the Saints and the Jets, my friend?
Well, Big Q, before I say that, shouts out to everybody in the chat. Who that to everybody that's in the chat. I hope everybody is doing well and starting off the weekend right. Even though despite with a 5-game losing streak, which is why I want to talk just immediately. But I hope everybody is doing well tonight. But Big Q, I'm not worrying about these playoffs. I'm not even going to talk about playoffs. I just want the Saints to win another game. I got that Jim Moore mentality. Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. Are you kidding me? Playoffs? I just want to win a game.
I'm with you.
That's what I'm focused on right now, Big Q. I just want the Saints to win another game. I just want them to break this losing streak and start winning something. I'm not worried about no playoffs right now. The way it's looking right now, I'm not thinking about it right now. The only thing that's on my mind is the Saints getting back on track and win a game. That's my only concern. That's my only concern right now.
I'm with you, brother Jerry. I've been saying the same thing. People ask me, Q, how many games the Saints win in the next 5 contests. I said, to be honest with your fam, I'm not even looking at it like that. The Saints got so much work to do, and it starts with the game in front of us. And the Jets, you couldn't have asked for a foe that was struggling to kind of help the Saints gain some confidence before the Tampa Bay matchup. We need to get a win. And hopefully we got to get on the road. So I'm with you on the one game at a time approach. I think that's the best bet, is to just focus on each game as it comes. And if we do that and we are successful, then the playoffs will take care of itself. 5 games left. We need a lot of success.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And if everybody be on their P's and Q's on this Jets game coming up this Sunday, hopefully things will turn around quickly for the New Orleans Saints. And I also heard that Kamara is finally back, so hopefully,
yes, sir.
Hopefully, I'll see a big game from Alvin Kamara, since I heard about the recent moves and stuff. So that's all I'm looking at on Sunday. That's all I'm looking at on this coming Sunday. That's all I'm looking at right now.
Well, yeah, Kamara comes back, brother Jerry. That's a big plus. No matter how you look at it, with Alvin Kamara coming back, he helps out in so many ways. He's such a weapon. As a wide receiver, running back, and we just need to give him an opportunity, give him some space where he can make plays. So, I mean, getting him back is really big right now, and to get him back healthy, that's even better. So Taysom Hill and him, 2 electric players. Hopefully we can lean on these guys, and they can bring us some success.
Yes, sir. And it don't matter. And it don't matter to me who started. I guess you were saying. I guess you might well be saying Taysom Hill is starting. Well, it don't matter to me who start.
Mm-hmm.
Just win a game Sunday. That's all I want.
Yeah,
that's all the
Taysom.
OG wants.
Yep.
Is to win a game. That's all.
I'm with you on that one, Jerry. I think it's a big part of it, man. The Jets, they throwing the Jets at us, man. We got to take care of business and knock them out of here. Get this W, man. We got to get it. And I'm with you on every step of the way. A win is what we need, man, to keep this thing going, bro, for real.
Yes, sir. And I did say I'm not gonna do no score prediction and stuff. I'm gonna leave that to the family members. I'm just predicting the Saints win. That's all. Because every time I turn around, if I get a score prediction right or wrong, they say, "Well, Jerry? Why did you make that score prediction?" I said, "Because I was wrong." So I said, "I'm gonna just predict the Saints win."
Man, I tell you, brother.
That's it.
Yeah, it's tough, man, because the Saints have made us, that we haven't looked good over there. It's been a very tough, over a month of tough football, watching the Saints implode. The Thanksgiving game was
disastrous.
It was specifically disastrous. The game against the Dallas Cowboys was another game in which 2 of our top foes we took on in the last 5 contests, including Atlanta and Dallas, and we lost to both of them, which is not a good look. So really a lot of bad football, injuries, whatever else the case may be, we still have to represent for the Who Dat Nation and execute. So we have enough. We get Teron back, hopefully good enough where he can contribute, help solidify a portion of the blind side, allowing Harris to play the right tackle so we can at least run the football.
Right.
Given Taysom Hill his ability to scramble and run too, we don't have to run Taysom into the ground, in part like we did against the Dallas Cowboys with Alvin Kamara back there. The Jets defense going to have a difficulty keeping up with a guy like Alvin Kamara and Taysom Hill. So that's why I'm kind of really feeling it. I think some of the offensive woes that we were having, Alvin fixed it in a great deal, and having him and Taysom Hill together is a pleasant plus. So we'll see if Coach Payton could what he could do with that. With Alvin Kamara, he can scheme up some stuff, and with Taysom Hill, one of his favorite, if probably his favorite quarterback, should be able to do some things too. So we'll see.
I agree with you, Big Q, because I'm gonna say this, and I know we got another caller on the line. So but I'm gonna go ahead and say this a little bit, and I'll still be in the chat. This year has just been like a roller coaster for all of us, for the Saints. I'm talking about, with the start with Jameis Winston at QB1. We went 5-2. We were like headed in the right direction, and then that scumbag Buccaneers linebacker Devin White dampened it for us. So still, I ain't gonna try to cuss because if I do it ain't gonna be pretty. So I'm gonna just let that alone. But with the quarterback situation, these injuries, these bad calls, this and that, I'm like, oh Lord Jesus. Wide receivers can't catch a snowball in a snowstorm. I mean, the defense, they doing their thing, man, but the offense, my God, they just need a lot. They need prayer. I ain't thinking like I said earlier on the show. This team is not headed to the playoffs because you got everybody else fighting for that same thing. And we just recently saw Pittsburgh lose to Minnesota on Thursday night. I thought they were going to come back and tie the game up and force the game to go to overtime so they can have a chance to win. But now, after that Minnesota win on Thursday night, that our chances of making the playoffs completely is already fading right now as the way, because you got these other teams fighting for that same boat. You know what I'm saying? Because the way I'm looking at it, we just playing for the draft. That's basically the Saints are playing for right now. It's a draft, so we can get somebody that can catch a ball, wide receivers, anybody. So that's just my address to the entire Who Dat Nation in the chat, to you, Big Q, and everybody else. We just gotta just go out there and play our best football like it's our last. Hopefully, I'm praying that we snap this losing streak and start winning. Like I said earlier, I just want to win a game and move on to the right direction. That's all I want. That's basically all I want. I don't care who the quarterback is. I don't care who the wide receivers are that can catch a ball. I just want to win. I just want the whole 9 yards, BQ. That's all I want. And that's all I have right there.
Well, Jerry, I thank you, brother, for coming in and dropping knowledge as always, my brother. Thank you for your thoughts on the black and gold as usual, bro. And appreciate you being here.
Anytime, Big Q, and Who Dat Nation. I love you all so much, man. Like I said, I wouldn't trade this team and this fan base for nobody else because the other teams are doing better than us. I'm gonna stay with my Saints, and that's all there is to it. I love you all, and there's absolutely nothing that y'all can do about it. I got nothing but love for y'all. I pray for y'all every day, and I want to keep that roller coaster going with the Who Dat Nation.
Well, appreciate you, brother Jared. Thank you for your prayers and all the positive stuff that you bring to the squad. Who that to you, my brother, and thank you.
Same to you, bro. And one last thing, and prayers to the families of Demaryius Thomas and Glenn Foster. My prayers and condolences to y'all, man. Y'all stay strong. My prayers are with y'all.
Well said, brother Jared. Thank you, bro.
You're welcome, Big Q. You have yourself a good night, and I'll still be in the chat holding it down.
Thank you, brother Jared. Appreciate you. And who that?
Who that?
That brother Jared, man, chiming in. Appreciate the OG as always, man. Dropping always a positive dude, brother Jared. Always there, man. T. Scott's in the building as well. What's up, fam? Says, I just hope the offense show up in New York and New Jersey. Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. And I think it to a degree. Remember, and of course, Michael made mention of it. Alvin Kamara, Tony Jones, Taysom Hill. Yeah, run the ball down their throat. If anything, yeah, you got some really good players right there, and the focus on it. And Purple Marcus even mentioned Jawan Johnson, giving him more opportunities. And on the slick, man, to be honest with you, how about the play of Nick Vannett? Nick Vannett caught the touchdown a couple of games ago. He's been playing pretty well for the Saints since he came in under the radar. So not bad as well as we seeing some players are stepping up as well. But the wide receiver, we'll see what Coach Payton does there. We know Aesop Winston is supposed to be activated coming up before the game. We'll see how that is, and maybe perhaps Quan Baker gets an opportunity to get in there. We'll see. We'll see how it all goes. So if you want to pop in on the stream, fam, we'll be going right up to 8:30 before we drop off. The Pelican Post Game Report will be following the stream a little later. Let's get into another article that I got shared into the family members. I want to pop in, hit that link. It's attached to the top of the chat. Now, this is an interesting article from Saints Wire. 6 decisions the Saints probably regret now. And if you take a look at that guy right there, that's exactly who that nation looking about right now. That's what you're doing. You sitting in your house or you in the building, you in the Superdome, and you looking just like this gentleman right here. Look at that. Man got his hand on his head. His shirt is all crumpled. He laid back like, man, what am I looking at here? Why, and then I got to drive home, man. I can't even just get up and go walk to the refrigerator. That man sitting up there saying, what the hell am I watching? That's a perfect picture of the Who Dat Nation over the last 5 weeks of play. Very funny. All right. So let's talk about it. Let's get to the article. 6 decision the Saints probably regret. All right, it's going to be tough for the Saints to climb out of a 5-7 hole. They dug for themselves. Anything short of 4 wins and 5 remaining games likely dooms the playoff odds. While it's always easier to judge things in hindsight, there are some decisions the Saints made this season that were questionable at time and only look more regrettable as time marches on. What could those 6 things be? Well, let's see what Sigler puts on it. Number 1, losing Trey Hendrickson. All right, Hendrickson has improved on his career best performance last season with 11.5 sacks in 12 games, more than the 2 best Saints pass rushers combined, with Davenport with 5.5 and Cam with 4. He's been a dynamic pickup for the Bengals, and tremendous loss for the Saints. It's impossible to overlook his absence. Re-signing Henderson would have been tough given the depressed salary cap situation. He was of several good players the Saints had to let go, but they backed themselves into a corner with bad contracts to underperforming players like Andrews Pete, who had a cap hit of $11.6 million prior to the restructure, would force them to roster him again next year and likely in 2023. They also waited too long to try to sign Marcus Williams to a long-term deal, which required them to use the franchise tag at $10.6 million. Now, Henderson's first year cap hit with the Bengals is $12.4 million. If they hadn't overpaid for Pete in the first place or failed to sign Williams to an extension sooner, maybe the Saints could have retained Hendrickson. All in hindsight, right? Not drafting a wide receiver earlier. Okay, number 2. So a lot of family members. This is touching on a lot of points about the family members, about how they feel about, what's going on with the squad. What's going on, Lo? What's up to my brother Lo? Big ups to you, bro. Good to see you in the chat. What's up, KB, baby? Much love to you as well. I know. All right, so number 2 on the list is not drafting the wide receiver earlier. And, of course, you see Terrence Marshall Jr. there. This was really a years-long problem for the Saints, but we'll limit our focus on the 21 season with the intention to draft LSU wide receiver Terrence Marshall Jr. was leaked to the Carolina Panthers. Carolina did pick Marshall instead, and since benched him after doing a bad job of working him into their offense, Marshall would have had more opportunities and better chances of success with Sean Payton's experienced coaching staff, but oh well. But this is a bigger issue than not getting Marshall. The Saints knew early on that receiver would be a position of need for them. Michael Thomas ghosted them in the spring and missed doctor's appointments to update the team on the status of his injured ankle. That's not how it happened. You better go do your homework on that, Mr. Sigler. They knew that there was a chance he had missed time and they didn't act on it. How can a team that will trade up halfway through the first round for Davenport or throw 3 or 4 picks into a package for Troutman justify not moving up 2 spots for Marshall or any other rookie wideout they missed on? Can't beat the logic on that one. If you go back to the draft show, I was cutting up. What's up, Jason? What's going on, brother? Big ups to Jason, man. Good to see you in the chat, my brother. Who that to you? All right, Mocha. What's up, Mocha? Big ups to you, man. Trey Joseph. What's up, brother Trey? All right, Crusher. What's up, brother Crusher? Much love. All right, so yeah, we talked about, if you go back to the draft show, we had 3 of them, and we was talking about the Terrace Marshall thing. There was how many? And Kevin's in here. GM Kev's in here. How many mock drafts did we have with Terrace Marshall Jr. fell to the Saints? A lot of them had him mocked in the first round. Now, of course, people would say that, yeah, Carolina heard the Saints was going to draft, and that's why they drafted. But listen, if they knew that, then the Saints knew that Carolina knew what they were going to do. So if that's the case, we could have leapfrogged ahead and got Terrence Marshall Jr. or got an extra pick to get him. So, I mean, having Terrence Marshall would have been a good move because he'd have been a good young wide receiver. He has speed, size. He would have been a really good weapon in the Saints offense. But once again, it's all in hindsight, right? I know. Hey, I'm sorry, Eric. No, yeah. Well, I mean, Armand's not even on the team anymore, brother Quincy. They waived Armand, and Armand was picked up by, who was it? The Redskins? I mean, not the Redskins, the football team. I know somebody picked Alex Armand off the waiver squad, so the Saints lost him on the season. So, I mean, there were quite a few people that you could have looked at that we were pushing to have on the squad, but it is what it is, fam. Let's finish up the article. But he makes sense. I can't beat his logic on that one. Number 3, not drafting another wide receiver even sooner. How about that? Okay, I got to take another second gripe about this. Nothing against Peyton Turner, but the Saints really botched the first-round pick this year. They knew how badly they needed a receiver and got to see how well Moore was playing in the SEC and chose to draft a backup at the position they already invested multiple first-rounders in rather than bring in a true upgrade. Moore would have been immediately taken a spot at on the top of the depth chart. New Orleans giving the Saints quarterbacks a real talent to work with instead of a gaggle of undrafted players they've put together. New Orleans screwed this one up, according to the writer. There's an argument for drafting the best players available regardless of position. What they did in Turner, they made them think he was a better prospect than Moore. What made them think that? The myriad of injuries, issues that Turner experienced in college, a knee, hand, fingers, foot injuries, remind me of Davenport a little bit, had continued since making the jump to the NFL. A training camp elbow injury sidelined him for the season opener. A calf injury later cost him more time, and then a shoulder issue put him on the IR. Turner has several years to get it right, but the immediate returns on the decision are brutal. Moore has caught more passes, 43, for more receiving yards, 538, and more first down conversion, 24, than any player on the Saints roster. Hard to beat that logic. And this young man is Elijah Moore. This guy is who you going to, I know he's banged up, but you might see him in the Jets matchup. You know, so yeah, we talked about that. Number 4, putting too much pressure on Troutman. Okay, let's get into that. The Saints cut both of their co-starters at the tight end. Jared Cook was really done already. Josh Hill, I really didn't think they should have cut Josh Hill. I was against that. And he asked Troutman to step up into the void that left behind. He didn't respond well to the assignment prior to his knee injury. He regressed as a blocker, failed to create plays in the passing game. The Saints put a lot of chips on the second-year development, but it looked instead like a sophomore slump. That's exactly what it was. Why did they expect a small-time school player who lacks elite athleticism at a position notorious for its tall, leaning curve to take on such a heavy workload? Nick Vannett was brought in, and that was the big thing right there that really kind of hurt him, was the fact that, listen, Nick Vannett was the guy that was supposed to come in as a starter. Remember when Denver released Nick Vannett, he was automatically penciled in as the starter. So you had Vannett, and then Troutman was supposed to work behind Vannett. And Vannett would handle a lot of the blocking duties, while Troutman they would use him around in the athletic, passing situations where he'd be used more in that ilk. But instead, Vannett disappeared, and Troutman had to shoulder the load, and he struggled. And that's a correct analysis about a sophomore slump, because that's exactly what it is. I see you, Brother Crusher. I'm going to get you in right after this article, my brother. And why did they expect that small-town school player to do that? Now, Nick Vannett was brought in as a free agent. He's been solid since returning from injury, but Troutman should have been put in this big spot to begin when he shouldn't have been put there. Another veteran addition to help lighten Troutman's responsibilities would have been useful, and I can agree with what Sigler's saying on that, because truth be told, they had some tight ends that was out there that wouldn't have cost the Saints a lot of money. What's up, Baraka? Who that to you? Baraka Lonemeyer. What's up, brother? Good to see you in the chat, fam. Much love. And the reality is, we could have actually we were filling in around with guys like Garrett Griffin. I was like, why is Garrett Griffin still on this team? Why we got Ethan Wolf here? What's going on here? Can't we get some other guys here? Get a old veteran tight end that can help out on the vet minimum. I mean, there were a few. A DLP says, to me, if the Saints were going to draft wide receiver, the better fit is Kadarius Toney. I know, man. You talk about explosive is not the word for Kadarius Toney. Remember what he did to the Saints with the Philly game? He is like an offensive version of Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with crazy speed. He is something special. And Philly, when they can finally get him into the works with, oh my goodness, he was a handful in the Philly game. The Saints defense trying to do something with him. He irky, jerky, fast, physical. That guy, man, DLP, you ain't lying. Marshall is okay. I don't see him, and someone that's a no-brainer pick. Yeah, Kadarius Toney is lighting it up for the Philadelphia. Well, I mean, against the Saints. I don't see what he's doing since then. All right, now let's look at the number 5 one, issuing the franchise tag to Marcus Williams, which y'all know how I felt about that one. There have been times when Williams looked like he's the best safety in the NFL, but it would be a lot easier to appreciate that if the Saints had signed him to a multi-year extension when they had the chance. They saw how greatly he improved last season and dithered about it until the franchise tag deadline forced their hand. Now he's played well enough to a point where they'll need to sign him to a deal, probably averaging $15 million or more per year. If they had done that a year earlier, they would have found more flexibility in the salary cap management, which would help them retain players like Trey Henderson or Emmanuel Sanders. This is a good point. But because they waited instead, they had to let those guys go and might lose more key contributors in the same song and dance next offseason. They were proactive with Ramczyk and Marshawn Lattimore, but didn't act quickly enough on Williams. And I have to agree that if the Saints didn't believe in Marcus Williams, and they tagged him at 10.6, Marcus, and we talked about that, the fact that Williams wanted to be able to, be north of that. He wanted 12, 13 million a year. Saints like, no, we're not going to pay you that. We're just going to franchise you. The crazy part about it is, what are they going to do next year with him? And a lot of people are mixed. It's still a mixed bag on Marcus Williams. He looked really good the last couple of games before this last game when he was back there. He became miracle Marcus on that last play where he last line of defense safety, and I don't know what he was doing. It's just like one of those situations where you're looking at him and he's like, dude, do something. And he's just sitting there watching the guy, and he's pointing on the play. And I'm like, dude, you're the only one back there. What are you pointing at? Who you pointing at? You got to get him. And then he finally got to him all right after he helped push him in the end zone for the score. So, I mean, I think Marcus gets better because I have faith in the defensive backs coach, Chris Richard. I think he can help fix a lot of the stuff that Marcus Williams was struggling with. And he did look it looked better this season, So, I mean, we'll see if they won't pay him, but you never know with the black and gold, right? You never know. All right, and of course, the final one, and we're going to bring Brother Crusher in here and get his analysis, is starting Trevor Siemian for too many games. It became apparently pretty quickly that Siemian wasn't the answer at the quarterback position. The Saints kept him under center anyway. The foot injury Taysom Hill suffered while running a route, and Siemian's second start against Tennessee Titans took him off the board for the next 2 weeks, but it wouldn't have happened if the Saints had made a switch earlier and named Hill the starting quarterback after Siemian's first start loss to the Falcons. They bought Siemian. Thought Siemian gave him the best chance to win at that point in the season, but the 4 consecutive losses speak for themselves. So that's what the writer is saying. Some of the things the Saints wish they had back, and I just can't get over how all those decisions have us like this brother right here, holding his head, his shirt all crumpled and shit, and he's sitting there holding the top of his head. He looked like hair falling out. man, losing hair and everything. He's sitting up there like this. He got hair falling out from the game, the hair falling out. He upset. He mad. He's sitting there. That man, listen, what's cold about it? That man don't even got a beard, that Brother Crusher. He ain't even got a beard. Look at that. He is dry as the Sahara over there. He ain't got a beard. He ain't got nothing. He dry as the Sahara over there. Sitting up there enduring all that stuff, man. He got to live, and I mean, that is terrible. But anyway, let's bring in Brother Crusher. Brother Crusher, welcome to the stream. How you doing, my brother?
Man, who that? Much love, everybody. What's good, man? What's good?
What's good with you, my bro? Good to see you, man. Hope everything going well with you and your family, my man.
Oh,
much
brother.
love to you, and welcome to the stream, bro.
Man, thank you, bro, man. All's well, ends well, cuz you already know, bro. It's every time you bring that picture up, I think of the little kid when we threw that pass in Jacksonville late in the game.
Yeah.
And then you go and then you come to this week and you see this man, that adulation to just destination, just crazy. Stark difference, boy. That's craziness. That's craziness, man. Oh, bro. But hey, we still in this thing, man. You already know. Um, I wanted to like really think about what I was saying, because if we had any like quintessential game to where we could be like sort of on an autopilot, this the game. This the game. You know, you looking at a defense in the Jets that, you know, is 30th in yards in rushing, getting Kamara back. You're looking at a defense that only got 4 interceptions on the season, you know, pretty much down there 31st, 32nd ranked in turnovers. They have no turnovers. They didn't gave away like 25 turnovers. They ranked dead last in turnovers. So it's, if you say like, you know, don't beat yourself, like they're talking about this season's Jets, you know, with the way that they've been playing. So it's like you can't, any errant throws, anything you doing, it's on you, because they are literally wanting to give you a game. That's what they've been doing. It's kind of weird. Their defense kind of been like that, but you know, it's one of that game, bro. Just that game. You know, we got all the opportunity right now to go get a W, not think too much, not get ahead of ourselves, not asking Taysom to make the big throws, not making the big plays. You know, keep it simple, stupid. Go get a victory, get out of there, keep it alive. You know, I think we had like the number one, the roughest schedule to date, and from here on out is the 27th. So it's like it's a difference. It could line up for us to get a playoff berth for whatever that worth is, you know. But it ain't even about a playoff berth. It's not about, you know, the game after that. It's not about the Dolphins. It's not about, you know, the Monday night football game, Thursday night football game. It's about the Jets. I mean, it's one of those things that it's not even too much you can talk about, because, you know, Elijah Moore is their highest target, most targeted receiver that they got. I mean, he limping in. Behind him, you know, Corey Davis, and they all limping in, dude. Like they're a very injured team, not coached well at all in any facet of the game, not really playing well. You know, really like a errant team. You know, just a flawed team in general. So I mean, if we want to be anybody, if we want to have some type of perspective on what we not, is the Jets, man. You know, it's these struggling teams like that really ain't even got no brain to even start to think about what they need to do next. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's on autopilot for us. And Juwan Johnson, I don't see a matchup for him at all. He could he could attack the seams all game if he wants to. I mean, the list go on and on and on. You know, what's weird is like, what's a trap game, Q? You know, like when I think about like, what's a trap game? Because, you know, the Giants was a trap game, we lost. You know, the Falcons trap, we lost. We lost. So, this is a trap game for us because we're supposed to win. And no, we're not. No, we are not. You know, we were supposed to run the ball better than we did in Tennessee. We didn't do it. It didn't happen. So it's not even about prognosticating at this point. All I can tell you is, from what I've seen from the Jets team this year, they are set up to do exactly what we want to do, and they can't take that away at this time. So why not go get this win? You know, lean on the run, maybe some RPOs, you know, sprinkle it in there. We don't really need Kenny Stills. I don't know if he's gonna be back on the team. I was joking with Hoodie earlier this week. I was like, y'all know he's gonna be back, you know, by the end of the week anyways. So I don't even know why y'all tripping like that. You know, like, I think he already got signed back, but it don't matter because we're not really trying to pass the ball. We don't really need to pass the ball. I mean, this team is, you know, 32nd in touchdown, rushing touchdowns. They 26th in yards per average on the ground. Like I stated before, like they 30th in yards per game on the ground. They get sliced every week. So where is that to, it's really not even, nothing to think about at all. But it's just one of those things, dude. Like we can dominate this game for whatever that's worth. Dopamine in our brain, confidence, a boost. Get out of that funk. Stop. Get the bad that juju off of us. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's been a couple times we done got on these 5-game losing streaks. Then happened a couple times with Mike Dicker. Happened with Jim Haslett. I mean not Jim Haslett, excuse me, Jim Mora. I think I read the other day that the first 5 years of our 10 years in the league, we had a 5-0 streak every year for 5 years in a row. So, I mean, it's almost one of them things where like history repeats itself. We've been here, we've done that, we're better than that. We advanced now, we know who we are now, but things happen, things are cyclical, things come back around. We're gonna be back around. We gotta get things in order. It started the Jets, It's just I basically just wanted to say that. You know what I'm saying? This is a game where we could literally be on autopilot, not make the errant throws, not make the bad throws, not try to push the ball in there, not try to do any of that. I mean, this team is not going to take the ball from you. They're not very smart, in the secondary, no disrespect. They're not very tough in the running game in the interior line. So it's set up for us to do exactly what we need to do to get a win, and get rest up and just try to move on from that. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, brother Crusher, man, you are 100% right, bro. I mean, we always pay attention to that trap game scenario, but it feel like we had a whole damn month and some change of trap games.
Trap season. Sound like a Juicy album.
Season. That's right, it's trap season. So,
For real.
At some point, I think, and I agree with you. Just like brother Jared OG said itself about the vantage point. And that's been my staple, brother Crusher, is that we need to approach it at one game at a time. And that's all you can do when you drop 5 straight and you sit up in the NFC South cellar after dominating the division for 4 straight years.
Exactly.
That is quite an eye-opening experience. And the only way we get that back is one very simple thing we have to do, my brother. And that's win one game at a time until we ultimately get back in. So we done spent any era of room that we had. The Saints simply must execute, get healthier, and execute and do their very best each game from now on into the season.
That's all we can do.
So,
that's it. Especially with a couple of the 3 of those teams, they already got a tiebreak on us at the very least. Like me and Hoodie was saying last night. We end the season same record with it basically go down to conference wins. It's just a lot stacked up against that black and gold, man. But it's all good. It's all love.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. It's going, and man, if you like drama, the Saints they're never lacking for viewership.
Oh man,
most drama-filled teams in the NFL. So one thing you're gonna enjoy watching the football game. You're gonna have some highs and some lows, but at the end of the day, I mean, a lot of lows as this last month. But like I said, we done been way to the depths of the valley there, brother Crusher. It's time for us to climb up out of this thing and see what that good smelling mountain air, that fresh mountain air smell like once again, bro. So we got to get back to that. So we get, and oddly enough, getting some of that fresh air starts with us taking down the jet or two. So we got to commandeer the jets. We got to commandeer the jets.
Anti-aircraft.
We got to commandeer. We got to commandeer a couple of jets right there, brother.
Look, we're gonna take over. We got this. We're gonna land it. We're gonna land it. You feel me? Sorry, Robert. Sorry, Shelton. Appreciate you, but nah, man. we there for it, bro. We there for it. This the best thing could have happened to us to hit rock bottom like Dwayne, because now we really know what's up. Now we really see everything we need to see to get better. You know, my little niece had fell the other day. She was crying, and I told her, like, that hurt, that don't last. But I promise you what will last is the lesson you learned from that, right? That's what's gonna last. That's what's gonna endure, right, baby girl? That's what's gonna last. You're not gonna fall out that chair like that no more. You're not gonna play crazy like that in that chair no more, right? That pain not gonna last. You're gonna be all right. So that's what we going through right now. We gotta just learn, adapt, keep moving. That's what we do best, Right. And it is what it is, But hey, I wanted to say that too, like, Taysom throwing that ball when he should have pass led it to Traquan, that was like Taysom would have threw that ball with an injured finger or not, just like that. Just not having that right touch, just doing too much sometimes and not doing enough at other times. That had nothing to do with that hand. That's just Taysom. Not bashing him. No disrespect. We live and die through Taysom.
Yep.
We live and die through that. His athleticism kept us in the game. His technique took us out of the game. And it is what it is. So that's what we got for the rest of the season. And man, we just gotta keep going. We just gotta keep going.
Right. I agree with you, brother Crusher. I mean, that's the big part of it all, man, is that and you talked about experiences. What we perceive as negative experiences are, like we watch a lot of the Pelicans and all the stuff, and Coach Willie said it, the head coach of the New Orleans Pelicans said it about adversity. We win together, we lose together, but in the losses, we build camaraderie, we build respect for each other, we build a lot of positive things that we don't get in the wins, in the losses.
Yes, sir.
But it's all about how you handle the losses as well. And if we have a team like we think we have, that's a very upstanding team in terms of their mentality, their mental matrix, then I foresee the Saints are going to have a good game against these Jets to be able to take care of business against this Jet club, because they have no other alternative. It's I don't think they've bottomed out to the point where we lose to the 3-9 Jets. No disrespect to the Jets, but I just think that the Saints, it's time for the Saints to win, in the losing to stop.
Right. The war with me is over.
Right. That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
We had some tough, Buffalo is a crazy good team. Dallas, they are a good team. That we lost to some good teams. We lost to the Tennessee teams. But this is the team right now, the Jets, the 3 wins on the season, man. This is the quintessential win. This is where we got to take back momentum. And in the playoffs or not, you lose this game to a struggling organization like that, then you got a lot of potholes in that road. There's not just one. It ain't just a quarterback issue. It's not just a wide receiver issue. Not just an O-line issue. It's a mental thing. It's ripped at the fabric of us if we losing to teams like this right now. So gotta get this back on track, and I think we will. Brother.
Yeah, we got a lot to do in terms of getting it right, man. And I think we will get it right. We will definitely right the ship, and we will step up and do what we're supposed to do, which is win and stop the slide of 5 games, which is horrible. One of the worst. It's just the worst losing streak in the Coach Payton era. It stopped since this Sunday against the Jets. And then, of course, the next week we'll look at that as well as we look to win 1 game at a time. I'm not even looking at the playoffs. I'm going to just be honest with you.
No.
It don't even make sense to do that. Just focus on 1 game at a time and get healthier. And then once they win, I think that helps shake the Saints back into the winning ways. They haven't tasted a win in 5 games, man, over a month worth of losing. That's tough. But get a win, man. In the building builds, it's really big to a team that's used to winning, and then they're going to lose. So they stick together and come back with a win and get up out of that thing. That'll be big psychologically for the Black.
Very big.
So
very big.
But brother, Crusher, I'm gonna give you the floor, my friend, and then we're gonna end out the stream, my friend. So the floor is yours. On final thoughts for the game.
We still, number 2, number 3, red zone offense, defense. We still a top 5 rushing team, top 10 in rushing yardage. We still got some good things that we can do. We can, like I said, the gift and the curse to have Taysom Hill as our leader. Taysom Hill does some amazing things, but just at the drop of a hat, he can negate all of that with an errant throw, thinking too much, putting too much on his plate. And the Jets game is the epitome of a game where you don't even need to even think like that. You don't even need to do that much because, like I said, these brothers literally 32nd in takeaways on offense and defense.
Yeah.
That, I mean, it's like how low can you go? And no disrespect,
right?
But that's where we at, and that's what we up against. So. It's just time to observe and get this win and get back on the right foot, man. That's all it's about. And that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. That's exactly what we're gonna do. I don't see nothing else, happening that to take away from that. If Cam don't play, shouts out to Roach Jackson. He was talking about earlier how, David Onamati took some snaps in preseason, like 53 snaps. 43 of them was on the outside. He had some pressures, had some sacks. For those 2 games he was on the outside. So, that could have just been Sean Payton blowing smoke, Dennis Allen blowing smoke, experimenting before the game got real. But that might be the time for it to happen if Cam not gonna play and Carl on the other side. On that side, I think they got the highest grade pass blocker, Connor McDermott.
Yep.
76 pass blocker. That probably will be on your monitor or whoever is replacing of Cam. And that probably is best for them. I think on the other side of them is going to be a guy named Gant. George Gant. Fant. George Fant.
Fant, yeah.
They,
tackle.
Yeah. So they're pretty good. They pretty good pass blockers from what I see. I guess it's on and off with them. But they run blocking is not. They're not winning a lot of many games. They're not winning a lot of 1-on-1s. We could attack that interior rush on the offensive side. We could slice them up. Period. We could slice them up. We could slice them up. Almost the same thing tenfold to what we did to Dallas. There's one thing to know what somebody's doing, there's another thing to stop it. And that's where we at right now. That's what I believe that we could do. We're going to run the ball. Okay, that's fine. Can you stop us from doing it? And if you do, then we'll, get on some PA roll, RPOs, and get Juwan mixed in the game and get on the perimeter and loosen you up again. Because that's the game we should play. Intermediate, short routes, nothing, no big time. Deonte not here, no still ain't a good player. If he is, on the field or not. So keep it close to the line, keep it above the chains. Just creep back to 500 before it's too late. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well said, brother Crusher. I'm in total agreement with you, bro. We gotta batter and bruise the Jets. We gotta run on them. Slim said we should have 100 rushing attempts.
150. We should be running in timeouts, running out of timeouts, running to get water, running everyone, just making them just even look at us get tired. Because they really been gassed all. They should have anxiety attacks trying to look at our 22 offense because they have not stopped nobody all year.
Yeah, they're not very good. They're not very good, brother Crusher. You're right. But listen,
and it's kind of weird for a Robert Saleh team not to be as good defensively.
Yeah, it's his first year that he's still putting them together. So yeah, it's gonna be a little bit before he turn that losing wheel around. So I mean, he'll be using whatever little poster board material he can gather. The fact that Saints are 5.5 point favorites to beat them in their own building, that's one that I think that will help them kind of have a little spice to it. But the Saints still got to activate and shut this team down, let them know you're not on our level, and get back to what we know winning to be. But Brother Crusher, once again, thank you for passionate commentary and intelligent commentary as usual, my brother. Much love to you and your
Much
fam,
appreciated.
and keep your head up, my brother. Everything been all right family wise, bro? Everything's
Oh
good.
man, everything good, brother. Everything good, man. I kind of been in my bag with thinking about my podcast and thinking about maybe getting some stuff off the ground for me.
Yeah.
And so that's
Well,
just
they know who you
what
are.
I've been.
They know who you are, Brother Crusher.
Yeah. I want Matt Moscona to know who I am, because I don't really like how Matt Moscona be talking sometimes, bro. But this ain't even about that. This ain't even a Matt Moscona. We ain't playing the New Jersey Matt Mosconas. So we playing the Jets last time I heard. You feel me?
Right. Well, if we beat the Jets, then you worry about it. He's a pretty cool dude, Matt Moscona.
I'm gonna cool my Jets. I'm gonna cool my Jets on Moscona. On Moscona.
All right,
but man, much love to you, man. I want to say prayers to Glenn Foster fam, prayers to the Demarius Thomas family. It's such a young age, so tragic, so random. Holidays is just you never know what life has in store. But much love, happy holidays to everybody out there in the interweb. Who that to y'all, baby?
Thank you, Brother Crusher. Who that to you? Much love, success to you, my man. Peace.
Yes, sir.
Crusher, that's the man now. I appreciate the fam, man. Brother Crusher always bringing great commentary, man. Really good dude, smart dude, passionate as well. Much love to that brother. And thanks to all the family members that chimed in the panel, man. Much love to y'all. I appreciate it. And the family members that's watching the stream, and hit the like button. If you hadn't hit it. If you're not a subscriber, hit it. And also share the show link. And before we go, I wanted to give a shout out to one of our sponsors at the Sauce Store LLC.com. I wanted to give that brother a shout out. He sent me a package promoting his services, and I got it. And everything, man, this brother is truly professional. He sent me some stuff, and like I said, I told him to do it. And of course, he sent me the package there from the Sauce Store. And for anybody that got beards in the game, and there's a lot of brothers out there beards, and you need to maintain your beards and whatnot. The brother got shampoos for your beards and all kind of stuff, man, that he got. And look at his symbols and everything. True professional shampoo, combs, everything, man. Brushes. If you got a beard like me or Teal or some of the family members out there and you need some maintenance, this brother's a who that, man. He got all kind of stuff, man. Beard balms and all kind of stuff, man. I was rubbing it in the beard, is all soft and all that kind of stuff is all wonderful, baby. So I invite the family members to take a look at his site. It's www. The Sauce Store, that's SAUCE store LLC.com. Remember, you got to put the Sauce Store and you got to put LLC behind it.com. It'll take you right to his site. He got all kind of stuff, not just shampoos, balms, oil, moist combs, all kind of stuff, man. He had to really send me a really nice package to try out with as well. And I just wanted to give the brother some love. So over the next several shows, we'll be showing love to the Sauce Store, man. So feel free to show that brother some support. And he's a who dat, man. And we who dats, we got to support the who dats there. So go to the Sauce Store LLC.com for your beard and grooming needs. Also has clothing items there as well. So it's a lot more. Go and check out his website, make a purchase from him, and tell him Big Q sent you. Beard. And once again, it's www.thesauceStoreLLC.com. So much love to you, brother, as well. And keep doing the great things that you doing as well. So yeah, much love to the fam. Appreciate y'all. All right, Damon says, Big Q, I've been listening the whole time in the gym. Yeah, I know. Get that beard. Yeah, bro, it's the Sauce Store, man. And I'm impressed with him, man. I mean, he got the beard oil, as you can see, the beard oil that he sent me. You see that, fam? The beard oil. You know what I'm saying? And it comes in the bottle, man. And you got the shampoos and balms. And listen, he got some of the beard balms, man. You rub it in your beard, and you got the brushes and combs and all kind of stuff, man. It's a whole culture, for people that might not know, You know, back in there, I thought it was just you use a little some mink oil up in that thing. Oh no, you got shampoos that don't dry out your beard, all that, man. It's got the little. What else he got? He sent me the all this came in the pack. You know, like the little, you know, the razor. You got to put a razor in it so you can keep it trimmed and everything, man. Beard care. So if y'all interested in it, check the brother out. Show him some love, man. Let me see if I can put that banner up one more time to show him some love. It's www.thesaucestorellc.com. Thesaucestorellc.com. And you go there and you got all kind of stuff there. So, you know, like I said, tell them Big Q sent you, man. And for beard maintenance, man, check it out. All right. So yeah, I might Colorado, depending on if the Saints have a busy day tomorrow. If they do some news, I might pop up with some Saints talk. It depends though, what my schedule looking like as well. All right. So big ups to the fam. Snake biting the rest of the family members as well. Tragic. I say we need Reverend Saint. All right, Reverend Saint, you know, he popped up here last what was it, several shows ago. Uncle Paulie called him on to talk, you know, to talk. Yeah, 5-game losing streak. You know, Reverend Saint ain't happy about that. Y'all know that, man. Y'all know Reverend Saint ain't happy about that at all. All right, Jermaine said, "Hey Q, he said he got a pick. I use a okay. Yeah. He got Combs picks. I don't know if he got, but let me see here. He got Combs and man, it's so much, man, that he has. But he got like wooden combs, you know, like he had like a video where he was breaking that down. How you got wooden combs that you use for your beard, you know, like this one right here that you brush and everything like that, you know. And this, like I said, man, true professional, man. Show him some love, and I'm pretty sure he got a lot more than what I'm showing you here as well. So, like I said, check him out. So, with that being said, fam, we're gonna pop out on that. Also, feel free, family, to check out the merch stores that's listed below. We got several different merch stores with all kind of merch involved. I mean, literally dozens of clothes, hoodies, shirts, hats, all kind of stuff that's available in our merch shows. The pro shops are in the description section below. And also, if you want to become a member of the stream, you can join as a YouTube member and get access to all of our locked content on this chat platform, or simply go to patreon.com/the Pro Media Network. That's patreon.com/the Pro Media Network. And you can become a Patreon member and have access to On Q with Big Q. I promise the family members On Q with Big Q is coming. We'll have it set up for Saturday tomorrow, so you'll get that. It's some information I want to share as our news show. Also, to let the family members know that I am working on some literary work as well that won't be out till next year. We got a musical project that we got coming up with a lot of songs for the Who Dat Nation. Clean stuff, none of the cussing, but it's stuff for the Saints and Pelicans and one maybe Tigers, stuff like that. Little musical compilation that we're working on as well. So we got several different projects that we're working on right now, moving along. And of course, just to let the family members know, TSC Unleashed is back. Saturday mornings will be going. TSC Unleashed is back every week on Saturday mornings. So be looking out for TSC Unleashed. There's a link in the description section where you can actually join the TSC Unleashed YouTube page. It has its own page where we'll be broadcasting every Saturday morning, and every Wednesday. Pro Radio is back. Well, it never went nowhere, but but Pro Radio, you can go to Pro Radio. The link is in the description section. We've been doing Pro Radio for several years now. So we all kind of shows on Pro Radio. That's already on iHeartRadio and Spotify and the biggest platform podcast providers you can find. Pro Radio in effect. So with that being said, check out all that. The links in the, I know I said a lot of shit, but the links are in the description section below. So with that being said, I'm going to pop out on that. Much love to you guys. I hope y'all have a fantastic weekend. Let's get a win against these Jets, man. We really need a win to break all this losing up. So I'm going to holler at y'all later on the Pelican Post game report later on tonight. Who that to you now?
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome. #1 sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons. We won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies and the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live. live. Make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation? Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. List the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that?
The number one advice I would give someone starting to grow a beard. Wash with beard shampoo and conditioner because boroshots dry out your beard. Use beard oil and beard balm to keep your beard soft, healthy, and moisturized. Use a wood comb to protect from breakage. Protect your beard by sleeping in a beard bonnet or beard rag at night. This is an easy routine to keep your beard on point. For all your beard grooming needs, get it at the SaltStoreLLC.com.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us.